what's on? Welcome to the very first, the debut, the premiere, the numero uno podcast of Tommy&Chi's Piecing in the Wind.
Hello.
That's Tommy, and I'm Chi. I guess we should tell you a little bit about ourselves. If you were to liken us to anybody that you might know off of TV, we kind of like the dudes off of Pointless. Tommy's like the really well-educated fan of knowledge Richard Osman, but without the weird sex appeal. And I'm more the Alexander Armstrong if he went to public school and was just above thick as shit, really.
Yeah, but I am shorter than Richard Osman, I have to say. I'm quite a short ass.
Well, that must be the weird sex appeal, must be in the height, I suppose.
You could be short and sexy. There's nothing wrong with that, you know.
I'm sure there's some examples, but this one.
Ernest Borgnine. There you go.
Ernest Borgnine? You picked Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah. He was short.
For those of you who don't know who Ernest Borgnine is, you probably know him as Cabby out of Escape from New York. He loves his jazz.
I bet he got the poontang in his day, you know.
And every bit of it paid for. Like, his eye. He had a weird eye. So you've picked, that's an example of, you've done yourself no favours. You've made yourself sound like a weird-ass Ernest Borgnine from Cornwall. With education, so that's quite strange.
Hey, Cornish, it's just another name for a hobbit as far as I'm concerned, you know. We're all short and hairy.
Who's the sexiest hobbit?
Sound-wise, I think he's just, you know, he's understated, like me, but he's fucking cool, mate.
Wrong. Knick-Knack from Golden Gun. He might not have been like an official hobbit. You can't get more hobbit than that, dude. Like, and he must have been swimming in it.
He was swimming in the poontang, mate. He was getting whores left, right and Chelsea apparently in his heyday.
Well, that must have been short, otherwise there's no way he could have reached.
Apparently he used to go to, what's that disco in New York in like the 70s?
Oh, Studios 66.
That's
fucking
the one.
bang.
Yeah.
Go on, brain, one to me.
Which was like sort of half disco, half sexual orgy. You know,
yeah.
He used to go there all the time, apparently.
Do you know what the admission price was?
Maybe he just ducked under the bouncers. He just never saw him. He's probably dead by now.
Must have been a short funeral. We've just started and we've insulted so many people. It's unbelievable. But anyway, listen, I guess that's us.
Two guys chatting shit.
We try and craft it in a way that's enjoyable shit anyway.
Hopefully you'll find it amusing.
So cut through the bullshit. As my friend over there, Tommy, lowballed us before. We're Haggard, mate. We're
two Haggard men.
We are Haggard, like proper Haggard munters. But
we do have a charm.
We do, and that charm is that we've survived a lot of shit, so we can chat a lot of shit. That's life, isn't it? So here we go.
Right, dear viewers, for our first section, we're going to jump in with Gav's news story of the week. So, Gav, what have you got for us? What's the news this week?
What have I got?
What have you got? Tenterhooks, mate. Tenterhooks.
Space lasers.
Space lasers.
Space lasers.
I know, like Star Wars, but you know.
No, because Star Wars had cool little ships and space pirates that took care of those lasers. I felt safe with lasers like that. I'm talking about space lasers.
Yeah.
Tommy. Came across this in my news feed, and straight away it got me attention. It was that we've now got space lasers, like built satellites in space that can fire the equivalent of a missile down at the Earth. But what got me about it was advertised like the selling point was, well, it's cheaper than missiles. Like, hold up. Yeah,
I'm all ears.
Economically, how fucked are we? Where we can build something that we can fire from a different system at Earth cheaper than using rocket fuel.
Well, I mean, missiles can cost a lot of money. I've sort of seen firsthand the cost of some of these things.
Yeah, but,
you know, and
dude, I'm pretty sure Space Lasers wasn't a GoFundMe project. You've got to fire off a lot of space lasers to justify the spending costs to make it cheaper than just using missiles. I'm not condoning any form of destruction, by the way, listeners. I'm just saying, I'm looking at this from a monetary point of view. How are we in a society where we can build things in space at cost, test things at cost,
pew, pew,
just to fire a laser and say it's cheaper than firing a missile? It's not.
It's cool though.
It is cool because it's cool to say space lasers.
And I have to add, listener, every time we're saying space laser, we're adding the quotation marks. Space laser.
Space laser. Exactly. Like, how long before we get government sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads? We're turning into a society based on knockoff comedy films.
So Richie Sunak has literally turned into Dr. Evil. He's going to turn up Prime Minister's Question Times with a mini Sunak. He might even do a little musical number, you know.
It couldn't affect his popularity much, could it? I mean, if anything, judging by your opinion of how sexy short people are, mate, like, I'd assume he'd go up in the ratings.
I think I'd be more likely to vote for him if he had a mini Sunak.
That sounds like something you'd find on Tatooine at Star Wars. Look out for the mini Sunak. Right, that's just like Sunak. It sounds like
Comes for you after dark.
M. Night Shyamalan character, doesn't it? Mr. Sunak. He's a quiet man. He lived in flat 17 at the end of Hopeless Boulevard. But he had a secret. Oh, fuck off, mate. Like, well, there's going to be a twist at the end of your film.
He could even have one already. He could be like Quatto. You know.
Voters, open your mind.
Open your mind to me. Yeah.
What a horrible vision. Mini Sunak is like, wait. Total recall. Oh, that's hideous. I'm gonna be looking there every time for that shirt to come up like a chest burster from Aliens, but
just a little hand poke out, you know.
Sunak Wade. Whoa, what horrible. How did we get from space lasers to this? You can change the tone of anything. This was a serious topical thing. Yeah, so I'm going to get back on track with
right,
it.
okay.
Don't
so,
confuse me with your words.
Basically, they did this in the 80s with the Star Wars project in America. I think everyone thought Ronald Reagan just got off his nut, you know. I'll lie down, Ronald. Chill pill. He's talking about lasers in space.
What were you saying?
I don't know. All I can think
Space lasers. What are you saying?
What I want to know is, do people have to change the batteries on these things?
If they're not solar powered, they missed a trick on that one.
But they must be pretty powerful if they're coming from lots of miles away.
They're called lasers. They've got to have the power. Yeah. Like lasers, mate. We find that name for deadly weapons and the best of the gladiators on TV.
And the designer of these space probes, if they didn't make them to look like mini Death Stars, I'll be pissed off.
Disney would sue the fuck out of them, mate. Space lasers shaped like Death Stars, and they didn't get their branding on it. Whoa! There's not enough money on earth to pay that lawsuit off. Telling you, oh look, Disney have acquired NASA. Fuck me. What a world. My next point on this as well
go on.
Is where we know about the impact on the environment and stuff, and it's getting harder to ignore it.
Yeah.
Where we're being told about emissions and carbon footprints and all that, it seems a bit immoral to start saying how well we're doing at bringing things down, and yet we're still doing shit like this. Because
well, I mean, the industrial complex, carbon emissions must be huge. I mean, think of all the planes and jets and helicopters that are up in the air. I mean, even if they're not fighting, they've got to use these things to keep them working and train people and stuff.
Yeah.
And they burn off, you're talking hundreds of thousands of gallons every day. That's not even using them for warfare, that's just them pissing around with it. Yeah. So it's not good.
So you'd agree that it seems it's a bit immoral that in the times like this we're still doing stuff and then trying to justify it by saying it's cheaper than.
I mean, I've never thought of being anti-war just for the carbon footprint, but you know, it makes a lot of sense.
Anyway, that was what I see in the news this week, guys. Basically, we are turning into a parody of bad but good comedy films. That's the end of that segment, guys. Tell us what you think. Like, drop it in the comments or something. Yeah, it'd be nice to know. Space lasers, are they to be feared or revered?
So, we're on to the gripe of the week now. Someone seen Rebel Moon.
Someone has unfortunately Seen Rebel Moon.
And so the gripe of the week, I think, really is
Zack Snyder is an overrated piece of excrement. How does he keep getting work?
I can see you getting emotional already. You know, I can see you getting pent up. I can see the anger rising.
No.
I haven't seen Rebel Moon, so I consider it quite calmly. But, you know, as someone who views Star Wars is like a religion to Gav.
It's pretty big. I don't do religion, but it's pretty big.
If you had religion, you'd be a Jedi. Let's face it.
Well, you'd assume I would.
Well, either way, you're getting a fucking lightsaber out of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then Zack Snyder does his vision of Star Wars, his homage, and it made you more angrier than I can ever remember you being about almost anything.
That's a pretty big statement, man. I get angry about it.
I mean, you came round to mine after you watched it, and I don't think you stopped talking for about 4 hours about how much you hated it.
Yeah, I was going for the running time of the movie. It's ridiculous. But, like, before we get to it... Yeah, it's important to know there's a lot of people that like Zack Snyder.
I'm sure there are.
No, there
They're
is.
wrong, but I'm sure they are.
I've really wanted to get the Zack Snyder thing. He's made me hate him.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I liked 300. I got the comic book as well. I like that. You know, I love Frank Miller. He did Watchmen as well, which I quite enjoyed. You know, I like the source material, you know, so... And I thought he did a fairly decent job.
No, he did. He did.
Know, I mean, I thought 300 was really in his wheelhouse there. It's all visual. There's no real content to it. It's, you know, I mean, most of it's like almost you could almost imagine most of that movie being an advert for some perfume or a new sports car or something stupid, you know.
See, I'm staying kind of quiet because you're saying the only real credible things I can think of saying.
Okay,
like,
okay.
To begin with, it's just so much untapped potential. Didn't mind, like, the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
I love the original.
I do love the original, but I didn't mind it. It was a good sort of darker, edgier sort of take on it. But it also became the downfall from that point as well, which is weird because that's the beginning point, I think. Really.
Yeah, that's his first big movie.
Yeah. So it's kind of been downhill from there. But I've kind of been hanging in there, like rooting for him to get back to something to live up to the hype that was created by people.
I really wanted to like Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
I really did want to like that.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of false hope. It's like,
yeah,
you know, it's like waiting for a parent to pick you up after football practice. They're
like a relationship.
They're just not there.
Yeah.
But then they keep doing it. You just keep you keep going back to it, and you don't
Next time they'll be there.
Yeah, just hopeful.
Yeah,
like next time they'll be there, and it'll be all right, and I'll get in the car, and I won't be freezing and soaking wet, and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But he keeps going back to his own shit, and it's ultimately creating that circle. But yeah, Rebel Moon.
Yeah, right.
Let's just go straight in here.
Right. Okay.
It's bollocks. It's bollocks. I want to find something good in my brain to say that warranted any of this hype and this shit and this homage stuff, mate. Yeah. Plagiarism.
Yeah.
You can't just take shit and call it different names and make it a bit grittier and.
Yeah, but homage is like you take the flavour.
Yeah.
You don't take any. You know, it's like the Joss Whedon Super 8. You know, he takes the flavour of Spielberg in that movie.
Joss Whedon?
Not Joss.
Super
Sorry,
8?
fucking Joss Whedon.
You idiot. J.J.
Abrams. Sorry, I can't remember.
Get your pop culture right, man, or get the fuck out of this studio.
Fucking interchangeable.
I can put two voices on. I'm sure I can do your voice somewhere. I don't know you want to sound like that to me, but yeah.
An educated Cornishman. Anyway, yeah, Super 8. You know, he takes the flavour of Spielberg, but he's not copying any Spielberg movie. Yeah. He takes the elements of a Spielberg movie, but he's not copying Spielberg movie. But I'm guessing you're saying Rebel Moon is not just the flavour of Star Wars, he's just ripping huge chunks of it off. Yeah.
Here's the thing, if you're going to do an homage, and then you're going to basically just rip it off, and you're going to say it's Star Wars. Yeah. You've homaged it, but you've taken it from the wrong batch of films. You fucking idiot. You've taken that Phantom Menace era
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just it's like
I'm surprised you even say that because you love those movies.
I've got an appreciation for them. Yeah,
That's political. That is.
love's strong, man. Like I said earlier, you can't control love, but you can control how you accept movies.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Heathers with Christian Slater, which is a weirdly film that everybody just needs to love because he's brilliant.
It's a brilliant movie. Yeah.
He's copied the wrong batch of movies. But he's done it so bad that it gives you a better appreciation of those movies.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, watching the sequels made me appreciate the prequels a lot more in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because at least, the prequels had a plot that makes sense and reached all through.
Look, this is a completely different conversation. You're
Yeah.
changing my brain.
Yeah,
for you.
sorry,
You're getting me
yeah,
locked in on Star Wars too
Yeah,
much. I know it's hard when we're making
The
comparisons.
problem is, I haven't seen River Moon yet.
Again.
I don't want to see it because if you're this angry about it, I can't invest that amount of hours.
You can't, and you shouldn't, and I won't let you.
No.
Stay on target.
Yeah.
Stay on target. The running time is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Slow motion's not enough. There's shots that are slow motion within slow motion. The way it flows is far too reminiscent of Star Wars in a way, but being
Copy and
introduced with his own, what he thinks is a cool, edgy fucking twist, and it's not. It's just pretentious. The acting's rubbish. The main characters, man.
I mean, is it
They
bad actors or is it just bad dialogue?
I think it's just a massive amalgamation of shit. Continuity is a big thing.
Yeah.
When you're a director like him that's meant to be visionary and I see my vision and all that fucking bollocks, yeah, is he saving the special effects and stuff for his director's cut? Because I didn't fucking see many of them worth seeing. I've had games consoles that produce better graphics.
Because I have noticed a lessening in quality in CGI over the last few years.
This is shit, mate. It's ridiculous. Like, look, yeah, the continuity of it. Here we go. I'm going to stay on target.
Oh,
There is so much I can go on
Stay
about
on target.
this. But yeah, that's a Star Wars reference. That's how you use it. That's how you make an homage. See, we've just done it in a podcast that glorified the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't, mate. This is like when you use ketchup in a cheap cafe and you hope that it's Heinz in the bottle, but you know they filled it up with cheap shit, and you get that overly vinegary, bitter fucking shit in your face. Yeah, like in your mouth. You're just like, why'd I put so much ketchup on everything? Oh, I knew it'd be shit. I did it anyway. Oh, it's my own fucking fault. That's what I felt like after I watched that film. The continuity, man. The characters get cleaner.
Right.
The more the film goes on. Talking about full on, wow, didn't they scrub up well after every fucking shot? But it only happens the second that they join the good guys, the rebellion, the rebel moon. I couldn't even be bothered to learn the terminology of the movie. It was so mind-numbingly bad. Yeah, but the second they join, they just look like they've been through a salon. It's fucked up, mate. Like, it's little things like that ruin shit. Yeah. He's already got his next cut ready of this film. And he talks about
Snyder cut.
Yeah. He's so far up his own arse, man, even a plank on his feet can't save him that. Cheap ketchup. Yeah, it's cheap ketchup, guys. It's just red shit. It's not really ketchup. There's no fucking tomato in that sauce, mate.
It's just salt and vinegar.
Like, I don't want to do spoilers and all that, but I'm trying to save you here. Yeah.
Don't do it.
I'm really like, make your own decisions, but it's like
Don't watch this movie.
There's two things when you're building a big killer death ship. Something in space.
Death Star, perhaps?
No, not a Death Star, but
Death...
you know, let's just say an Imperial Restrictor. Yeah, I'm trying to say what it would be in Zack Snyder's world. Yeah, we all know I meant Imperial Star Destroyer.
It's Death. It's
yeah, but when you look at the like the
unalive sun,
you look at the bit nerdy side. Just let me stay on track now. You're doing that thing with your words again. You know I lose it, right? But if you look at the blueprints, an Imperial Restrictor, You think it would be laid out the same way as an Imperial Star Destroyer? Yeah, you look at the blueprints of the ship. It takes more than one person to run.
Yeah, a big bridge. And,
yeah, it's got a crew.
Right at the top where it's really, good to get out with other ships.
So basically, in Zack Snyder's Imperial Restrictor world, it's piloted and completely controlled by the equivalent of an Uber driver.
Well, that makes sense,
No, it doesn't make any sense, man. You need a fucking control deck. You need that crew. You need the people to run around when the sirens go off and all that. One guy can't panic alone. Like, that's too much pressure for anyone.
You don't need a bridge crew, just Dave.
Right, so straight away, I'm thinking this Imperial Restrictor looks more like a space Prius.
Right,
It's an Uber, mate. Right? It manages to get taken down by one guy with something reminiscent of a spear.
A spear?
Yeah, basically.
Like an actual sort of,
a piece of
shaft of wood with a spearhead on it thing.
A piece of like some kind of fucking.
Was it a space spear?
I think it was like debris. Let's just say debris. Space debris.
All right.
Yeah.
And he literally physically froze.
Hang about. Let me get there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What's more pretentious is this geezer's like called Blood Axe or something. They've all got the shittest names possible for characters. I can't remember any more of them, but
his first name Brian. Please say it's Brian. Brian Blood Axe.
We'll call him Brian Blood Axe, mate, because it still wouldn't save anything good about this film. But yeah, he picks up this bit of debris, does his slow motion, then double slow motion run.
Oh, it's gonna be slow mo.
Seems to go, he's getting howled with fucking bullets that seem to miss. Then he seems to get hit. Oh, he's gonna fall. No, he's up. Oh, he's still going
sacrifice.
For it. Right, does the big leap. Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah, straight into the cockpit. Oh look.
How does he get to this cockpit?
He jumps, man. He jumps. Yeah, because that's the point of this Imperial Restrictor. It has to be so fucking low to the ground that this little space Uber driver is a prime candidate for a geezer just jumping off a rock with a fucking bit of debris space spear, can take him down.
But I'm sensing a design flaw here.
There's a massive one. It misses, then he gets, a geezer in a gunner cockpit has got a sidearm. And it's just to pull that out, then the killer shots are fired, but he comes out, then goes back in space debris. Hits space debris man, space Uber driver falls over. Hits the equivalent of what looked like an old Amstrad CPC 464 joystick. He falls into it. Oh look, the whole ship goes out of control. It crashes. End of.
It seems like you'd have a few like fail safes or
like a control deck full of people
yeah.
in a location that isn't primed to be hit by a guy with a spear. Yeah, you'd think all of that shit, but clearly Zack Snyder doesn't think all of that shit. It's bollocks, mate. But yeah, basically falls onto the joystick, ship goes out of control. There's no point sending an alarm off. Don't send an alarm off, mate, because there's only one pilot, so there shouldn't be many people on the ship to warrant a fucking alarm. They're all gonna die.
There's no thing like this. But think about all the money it took to make this shit. And it was advertised to fuck up as well.
Yeah.
Advertising everywhere for this. So they must have spent a fair bit about that. All those talented producers and set designers and CG artists, all that effort that went into making that piece of shit.
Well, guess what? They're all to blame. So fuck all of them. Because they've wasted hours of my life.
They've just got a job.
No,
Zack Snyder is the one to blame for this.
Oh, they're guilty by association. They need to have an intervention and sit him down and say, perhaps just go back to advertising, mate.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to get back on it. The biggest fucking gripe. Because I'm a continuity guy.
Right, yeah. Go on. Biggest gripe, go on. Let's get to it.
Big showdown. We get through slow motion after slow motion after slow motion scene. All of this fucking shit. Not Darth Vader. The weird... I don't know what he's doing with octopuses. Is he a junkie character? Why does he look like a Nazi?
It's the guy from Deadpool, isn't it?
Yeah. He's not great, mate. You're gonna do a slow motion shot. This one's all on Zack. Super slow motion. So he knows he's doing the shot. Connects. Boom! Out comes not Darth Vader's teeth. We have another slow motion shot. We follow the teeth. It's all emphasised. Basically, is what I'm saying. They hit the deck, they scatter, blah. But straight away, there's teeth in his fucking head.
Right.
You've just given me a minute-long shot of teeth coming out of his head.
Yeah.
And straight away, you've got the arrogance to just leave the teeth in his head and think nobody's going to spot it.
These days, that's the easiest thing to like CGI away. You know,
there's this weird process in the film. It comes back, he has his no moment, which is not blatantly fucking ripped off.
I mean, that wasn't even good in the original.
No, and that's what I mean. Cheap ketchup, man. Cheap ketchup. And then there is the shot with the no moment, and you look and he's blatantly got two completely full fucking sets of teeth, like he's just got back from a cheap fucking turkey holiday, mate. That shit's on the director. It's unforgivable. If that's the bullshit he's gonna feed us, that's why I'm saying no, Zack Snyder.
He could get it in thanks. That'd been cool.
He just keeps making two films, but he's selling it in a way that he's gonna give you the good stuff in the longer shits. No, he's not. You're just gonna watch a longer bunch of bollocks, just floored with fucking shit loophole balls. I am fucking through with this man now. That is it. Zack Snyder out.
Right, okay.
Final segment of this episode is Tommy's thought experiment of the week. This has come from loads of conversations we've had. Like I've pointed out, my well-educated friend seems to come out with a random well-educated fact. He reads a lot of books, he learns a lot of shit. He tries to impart that knowledge on me.
Personally, I think it's really funny, your reaction. That's why I do it. I mean, I'm going to read you a thought experiment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see how you react to this.
Right.
And this was written by Donald Davidson in 1987. Right? And this thought experiment raises questions about identity. Here we go. Suppose a man is out for a walk one day when a bolt of lightning disintegrates him. Simultaneously, a bolt of lightning strikes a marsh and causes a bunch of molecules to spontaneously rearrange in the same pattern that constituted a man a few moments ago. This swamp man is an exact copy of the brain, memories, patterns of behaviour as he did. It goes about its day, works and interacts with a man's friends, and it's otherwise indistinguishable. So, the question is the swamp man the same person as the disintegrated fella?
That was a genuine thought experiment.
That was a genuine thought experiment.
From 1987.
Yeah. And there is actually a pop culture reference here as well.
Right.
Because this question kind of came about because of Star Trek. Because in Star Trek, you have the transporters. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, all that shit.
So basically, a transporter works by tearing you apart at the molecular level,
right,
beaming you aboard, and then building you back up. The question is, are you the same person who was just disintegrated?
Well, first off, get rid of the Star Trek bollocks, because quite frankly, I ain't got time in my life for that at the moment. Unless we're talking like Picard. If you want to talk Picard, we'll talk about that, but we'll make that a different thing.
Yeah.
Right. This experiment now. Yeah, I'm walking down the street. Here I am, just walking down the street in 1987. I'm struck by a bolt of lightning. I disintegrate, like Thanos snap. We're talking fucking, oh, we are as dust in the wind.
You're a greasy stain on the floor, mate.
I prefer the dust in the wind than the greasy stain on the floor, but again, fucking lowball me, bro. See what you get. Right. I disintegrate, and then over the road, fungi version of me instantly appears.
And he's an exact copy of you in every way.
And you're asking me,
is that the same person?
If it is, it's a very fucked individual. I'm just gonna fucking debunk this bollocks straight away. Yeah, you're telling me I've just been struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Disintegrated like Thanos snap, and I've appeared on the other side of the road exactly the same. I've got all my memories.
Indistinguishable.
Then I am a very fucked individual because the first memory I've got is being struck by fucking lightning, disintegrating into dust.
You might not remember the actual
No, you said I've got every memory, mate. So if I'm disintegrated, I'm going to remember that kind of shit.
Well, it's instantaneously disintegrated. So
no, dude, I know. I know it happened. Yeah, because I haven't got a 2-second memory span. I'm not the same person. I'd never be the same person again. I've just been hit by lightning and been through quite a traumatic experience, and then to top it off, I don't know how I got to the other side of the fucking road. I'm confused. After I've been through that traumatic experience, I'm never going to be the same guy, and then to top it off, I'm always going to wonder how I got to the other side of the street, and that's going to do my head in and take up my future thought process. I'm never going to get past that moment. What was that experiment trying to prove?
I think it's more looking at it objectively rather than subjectively. So, as far as everyone else is concerned, you're the same person.
I don't give a fuck about everyone else, mate. I'm the one that's got to live with myself.
Yeah, okay.
This experiment is bollocks. It's utter fucking bullshit, mate. Like, I'm trying to record a very serious thing here, but I can feel myself going. You're just asking people the random answer to bollocks.
It got you thinking about it, though, didn't it? That's the whole point. And actually, it goes on to say, Davison actually said no. He agreed with you. He didn't think they were the same person.
But he needed to come up with a whole thing about it. I answered it straight away. I didn't need a fucking theory test about it.
He argues that while they are physically identical and nobody would ever notice, they don't share a causal history and can't be the same. So basically it's saying your copy, as it were, because you would be dead, doesn't have your history. It is brand new. For example, while the Swamp Man would be remember friends of the destroyed man, it never actually saw them before. Another person saw them, and the Swamp Man just has its memories.
So is he agreeing with me?
Essentially, yeah.
Then I like him a bit more, but it's a fucking really silly question to begin with. Like, if you're going to do experiments, mate, like, these ones should actually add something to society, not highlight the fact that there's a lot of stupid questions out there.
Sometimes you've got to ask the question to get the negative.
I was very happy to be the right, apparently, but negative reaction.
Yes and no doesn't really apply here.
I could try and argue
right or
from
wrong
the other side of the point that I am the same person, I am one being, but no, I'd be lying to you all. Sometimes if you get hit by lightning, disintegrated Thanos dust style, appear somewhere completely different to where you were standing, and you can be the same person, then I'd tip my hat to you, sir. I really do, because you're not the same person after all of that shit. You've got no soul. Right, that's that.
Oh.
Experiment done. So I need to really calm down a little bit now, because my brain spins on facts like this for days.
All right.
Yeah, still leaves me questioning whether I'm actually a functioning member of any society. Or...
Have you ever found yourself on the other side of the road before? Where been?
A lot, but I know that I wasn't hit by lightning and got there.
Maybe you've blocked out
strangely.
that memory. You might have blocked out that, but you could be a swamp man.
I could be a swamp man. It would answer a lot. But there we go. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. We hope you've liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back pretty soon with the next episode when we can think of some shit. It won't take long because we're full of it. Yeah, peace out, guys.
Cheers now.